Good afternoon to all of you. I, Shinjini Nag, Assistant Professor, School of Education, Adamas University, welcome you all in day one of week-long International Faculty Development Program on Education in Post-Pandemic Era, a Paradigm Shift, jointly organized by School of Education, Adamas University, and Institutions Innovation Council. Now it is time to start the session named Call for Papers. The session will be chaired by Dr. Prathita Biswas, Professor, Head of the Department and PhD Convener of School of Education, Adamas University. Now I am handing over the responsibility of moderating this session to Pooja Ghosh, student of B.Ed. third semester, School of Education, Adamas University. Over to you, Pooja.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. I really feel proud to introduce our chairperson, Dr. Prathita Biswas, Professor and HOD, PhD Convener, School of Education, Adamas University. Dr. Prathita Biswas, ma'am, has written several books on teachers' education. She has published several research papers in high-impact international journals and presented her work in a number of national and international conferences around the world. Dr. Prathita Biswas is a distinguished scholar, teacher educator, and an author in the field of teacher education. She is having a total teaching experience of more than 18 years. She is at present serving as an associate professor and head of the Department of School of Education, Adamas University. She is also the PhD convener of the Department of Education and the Center Coordination of the Research Center, Education, Research and Development. So let's begin. Now I would like to call the first presenter and Niharika Mukherjee. Before that, I would like to tell something to the audience. If you have any question, you can write in the chat box. And every participant, those who are presenting their paper, they will get 10 minutes for presentation. So now I will call our first presenter, Madam Niharika Mukherjee. You can start. Niharika Mukherjee, are you?
No, I think she is not there, so we can proceed to the next presenter.
Okay. Then I would like to call Shayok Paul to present. Sir, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we three of us have written this paper, Nitesh Tripathi, me, and Shayak sir. So Shayak sir is not present today because he is in some important work. So me and Nitesh sir will be presenting our paper.
Okay, then you can start.
Okay, ma'am, I can share my screen now. I can share the presentation.
Yes, you can share your screen, yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Can you see the presentation, ma'am? The PPT?
Yes, it's visible.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are here to present our paper on media education during the COVID-19 pandemic, an assessment study on reception of online teaching among the media students. The authors are Mr. Nitesh Tripathi, Mr. Shayak Pal, and Swati Agarwal. So the objectives of our paper are to understand the reception of online classes among media students, to find out various issues and limitations of the online classes apart from their outcomes and efficiency. Now, in order to achieve these objectives, we have made use of primary data as well as secondary data. For the primary, in order to collect the primary data, we conducted an online survey among 171 participants. And in order to collect the secondary data, we have made analysis of many reports, research papers, books, and various other literature. So now, as far as the geographical area is concerned, our survey was limited to the educational institutes of Kolkata having media. For the purpose of the study and the respondents, we've selected using the purpose of sampling. So first of all, I would like to inform you about the demography of the respondents. We conducted this online survey among 171 participants, out of which 5.3% were of the age group 16 to 18, 74.3% were from 19 to 21 years, 17.5% were from 22 to 24, and the rest were from 25 to 27 years age group. Now, 89% of these respondents were undergraduate students and 10% were postgraduate students. When we asked these respondents that which online learning platform was used by their university during the pandemic, then 84.2% of the media students, they said that they attended classes on MS Teams. 32% said that their university or educational institution, they preferred Google Meet or Google Classroom. 20% said it was being carried out on Zoom, and 17% said they were using Canvas. Now, the students acknowledged that during the pandemic, a mix of different content was offered to them. The teachers made use of PowerPoint presentations, PDFs, videos, website links, and lecture recordings. So all these were presented to them while taking classes. As many as 67.3% media students said that they wanted face-to-face interaction rather than online classes. And only a very small percentage of 24% respondents, they said that they were all right with the blended mode of education. Now, regarding the reading online materials which were provided by the teachers, 57% of the respondents confessed that they read only some of the notes which were provided to them, like around 29% said. 46.8% of the participants, they said that they had utilized the pandemic to complete the MOOC courses, various MOOC courses. Out of these, 45% said that they have completed LinkedIn learning courses. 25% of the respondents said that they were doing courses on Coursera, and many other respondents, they also said that they were doing courses on edX, SWAM, Udacity, and Khan Academy. So as far as job-related skills are concerned, 60% said that they have learned editing, various kind of editing, video, audio, and image. 43% said that they learned communication skills. 53% said that they learned writing skills. 32% said that they have learned how to design newspapers and graphic design. So they have learned other skills also, such as website development, coding, equipment operation, when they have to handle a camera and etc. Now, most of the respondents, they pointed out that the several aspects that were lacking in online education when we asked them about it. So out of these, we got from these results, we got to know that what are the aspects that were lacking in online education. Like 81% of the media students said that no hands-on training or practical classes were organized during the pandemic. 65% said that they are missing the face-to-face interaction with the teachers. And 43% said that the classes were monotonous and they felt very bored up while sitting in front of the screen throughout the day. So these were the different problems which they were facing. Now, there were multiple issues that were highlighted by the media students during the survey that about the problems which they were facing while attending online classes. 86% said that network quality sometimes was very poor, and because of slow network, they were facing problems. Similarly, 71% of the respondents said that they were unable sometimes properly as their voices broke during the classes. Now, while attending these online classes, 48.5% students agreed that they got distracted while attending online classes due to background noise, or because they are at their homes, their parents are talking or their family members are discussing something, some or the other things are going on. So that is because of that, they felt distracted. Now, another issue which was brought out by them was that they felt very bored sitting in front of the mobile screen or the laptop screen the entire day. So coming to the conclusion, the data from the survey revealed that online education was not a choice. This was actually implemented out of compulsion on the students. As far as conducting online classes is concerned, most people used platforms like MS Teams, Google Teams, etc. And majority of the content which was given to the students was in the form of, it was a mixed bag of PPT, PDFs, videos, recording links, website links. There were many challenges also which were facing, as we have discussed earlier. The students also admitted that they became lethargic due to attending long online sessions, and these lectures were very exhausting. And after 1 and 3 hours of online lectures, it actually became very difficult for them to attend the classes. Even they were facing mental health issues because of the pandemic, and also the educational institutions were providing them counseling and regularly conducting online seminars and conferences in order to create awareness of their mental health. So findings of the study can be utilized to plan on, the results which we have got from this survey, from this paper, can be utilized to plan online classes for media students in a better and efficient manner in the future. And these are my references. That was all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so we will be summarizing about the paper presentation at the last of this session. Okay,
Thank you
so
so
let
much.
us one by one proceed. Pooja, next presenter.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now I will request Dr. P. Radha to present the paper. Dr. P. Radha, are you present? Ma'am, I think Dr. P. Radha is also not present. So, ma'am, I will call
Yeah,
you.
just call them 2 times if they are not present. If they are present, they will be ready in any case. So just call them 2 times. If they are not present, you go to the next presenter, right?
Okay, ma'am. Then next, I will like to call Ayushi Arora to present her paper. Ma'am, are you there, Ayushi Arora?
Let's proceed to the next presenter.
Srijoni Nag, the fifth presenter.
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Yes. Then you can present your paper.
Okay, sure. Can I share my screen now?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Today, I'm Srijoni Nag, a research scholar in Department of Education under Adamas University. Today, my topic is Education in Post-Pandemic Era, a Paradigm Shift. On this topic, we have done this research. As the introduction, I would like to say that due to this pandemic situation, we all are locked up in our own house, and we cannot really continue our own life in the way we used to do. So this and the worst affected field is the education system globally. So globally, the method of teaching have been shifted from the conventional mode to the digital classroom, and this is the way we are going to. Okay. The next is a review of related literature. So after doing a lot of reviews, this one I found the most suitable one, mainly the Burdick and Willens. This paper was published in 2011, the digital learning and the digital scholarship and the design thinking. So they have linked these two things, the digital learning and the design thinking. This paper identifies the opportunities for design thinking to be integrated into digital learning and the digital scholarship initiatives. The paper traces how the rise of digital culture has led to the reconsideration of models for learning. Mainly, they have jotted down these points where the digital technology has an impact on learning models. The digital learning initiatives value the ability claimed by design thinking, the design of platforms and interfaces for scholarship, and has the epistemic impact.
these things were discussed in this review. Next, the objectives of the study will include has included these points where we need to find the better teaching learning method among the conventional and the digital mode of teaching, to chalk out the limitations of digital learning, to identify the changes occurred due to digital learning during the pandemic. The methodology what we have designed, this is mainly the descriptive survey based research. It's a primary research. We have not used any secondary mode. So mainly the quantitative analysis and the qualitative analysis both were done. The quantitative analysis were done among the teachers, among the sample I have selected. And mainly we have prepared the questionnaire in the Google form and distributed among the teachers and teacher educators and collected the data, their opinion. And also we made some phone calls, like some interviews were there over the phone. This was among the qualitative analysis, just to jot down the points or their own opinion. We have made this. Then this is the population on which we have done the survey. Mainly this includes both the school teachers and the teacher educators, but only from the Kolkata district. The sample which we have taken for this study is 100 school teachers and 100 teacher educators. This is how the sample distribution is, where the age is one of the point of consideration, where 30 to 45 years of age, they are under the junior, and the 45 to 60 years, they are under the seniors, both the teachers and the teacher educators. And we have taken the data from both government institutions and non-government institutions. Now, after analyzing the whole data, we found that most of the faculties of non-government institutions, they have preferred the digital mode of learning over the conventional method, and most of the government institution faculties have chosen the conventional method of teaching over the digital mode of teaching. They have given their own opinion and own list of advantages and limitations of both of these teaching methods. Next, we have analyzed mainly the age. So the junior teachers are preferring the digital mode of learning, and most of the senior teachers are still going for the conventional mode of learning. They are also having their own opinion. Next, we have listed down the advantages of the conventional classroom, the limitations of conventional classroom, then the advantages of the digital classroom, and the limitations of the digital classroom. Let me discuss it one by one. So these are the advantages of the conventional classroom, which is mainly the face-to-face interaction, where we can do the face-to-face interaction.
Please all of
Yes,
you
please
mute
continue.
yourself. Only the presenter will speak. Please all of you kindly mute yourself.
Thank you so much. So these are the advantages of conventional classroom as we have listed. So first of all, the face-to-face interaction is there. So one-to-one thing, like in school teaching also, we prefer the eye contact because this is the main way to convey anything to the students. Then the collaborative learning is only possible in conventional classroom, where the peer learning is also a huge part of this collaborative learning. It's not only about the teacher giving lectures, it's also about the students who are learning from one another. So this kind of collaborative learning is only possible in conventional mode. Then the proper rapport with the student and the rapport between the student and the teacher, this is way better in conventional classroom. This is more economical because all the students are not having enough money to buy all the gadgets we require right now. So this is also another important point. And then the preferable method in case of large number of students. If we are allowing the large number of students, then we often ignore the individual thing, like in digital mode of teaching. But in conventional classroom, if we are teaching a large number of students also, we can actually interact with the students in a better way. Then huge curriculum can be covered in very limited time, so it saves the time. And simplest method, so no arrangement is required. These are the limitations of the conventional classroom as we have done the qualitative analysis, and from the qualitative analysis, we have listed it down. So mainly the students are becoming more like passive learners sometimes. Then the individual difference is often ignored. and the teachers are not enough creative in the class, like only the lecture method they're following in the classroom. So that becomes very monotonous sometimes. The creative thinking is lacking just because we cannot use the internet, which is the storehouse of knowledge, as we cannot use that. So in the normal conventional classroom, sometimes it becomes very monotonous if you're not using any model or anything. Then the next one is advantages of the digital classroom, where we have listed these points. The classroom management is very easy. I think as teachers or teacher educators, we always support this, that we all love the mute all option. So at once we can stop the interaction or any other people to disturb us during our lecture or whatever we want to convey to our students. So this is the favorite button for all the teacher educators and teachers, the mute all button. So this is the classroom management, the easiest method of classroom management. Then the distracting factors are quite less. We can concentrate on the digital classroom in a better way. The PowerPoint presentation is there, so the colorful pictures, everything can be sorted out. Because in normal classrooms, in each and every class, we do not get the opportunity to share the maybe the slides or anything, because in all the classes, smart class is not allowed in all the schools or in all the colleges. So we can utilize the internet. This is the storehouse of knowledge. We can encourage the individual learning. So the pace is also important. The students can learn in their own pace. They don't need to rush or they don't need to follow the teacher always. As we are uploading everything, all the study materials in our websites or through other medium, we are giving it to the students. So the students can learn on their own pace. It is time saving, and also the traveling cost. That is also another major part which is saved right now. It increases the self-motivation and accountability. So it's only about the students, those who are willing to learn, they can learn in any platform they want. And those who doesn't want, we cannot actually force them. The limitations of digital classroom, first of all, the practical classes. Now the practical subjects are suffering a lot. Me being a biology teacher, I can tell you that practical classes are the worst sufferers. Like we cannot conduct any proper practical class, whatever the simulation processes are available or some other things are available in OLAB or something, but that is not a proper way. Then the damage of eyesight, a lot of problem related to migraine, eyesight related problems are there. Then digital distractions are also there, some pop-up games and all. Then some unfair means during the online mode of assessment. This is becoming another huge problem, because the students who used to get 60% are now getting 95%. So the discrimination is not there anymore. Then setting the assessment method that contain the long questions. That is also another problem, because students cannot write that much and upload within that limited period of time. Then specifically the regional languages like Bengali, Hindi, these kind of teachers are worse sufferers, I think, because they cannot type in that speed, though the other languages are also available, but it's very difficult for the teachers to type in Bengali or Hindi. Also for the mathematics teachers, because a lot of functional things are there where they need to learn another software and then they need to apply it in the class. The unequal access to the technology, all the teachers are not that much tech savvy, so there a huge difference is there. The tech savvy educators and teachers are getting benefited, and the others, maybe they are very good at teachers or educators, but just because they are not good at technology, they are lagging behind. This is also another point. No scope of collaborative activities, just because the peer learning is not that much possible. Limitations of using the unpaid websites. This is also another point where we cannot access to all the websites without buying the proper way. So it is not always unpaid. No special provision for the visually impaired learners. I think this is the recent thing I just discovered that this is also another point we can talk about, the visually impaired learners, because always listening to something is not enough. We are not doing anything for the students who are learning with Braille system. This should be also a point of discussion. Then lastly, I would like to conclude that we are comparing the digital classroom and conventional classroom a lot, but right now digital classroom is the only option. So without studying is one option, and another option is digital classroom. So we should go for the digital classroom without discussing about the limitations, because right now this is the only platform for us to reach our students. These are some of the references. Thank you so much. You have been a wonderful audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Srijoni Nag, for the presentation.
Thank you so much.
Next, I will call Shormishta Mitro to present the paper. Ma'am, are you present? Shormishta Mitro, ma'am, are you present? Then I will move to the next participant. The next presenter is Papia Dr. Rai. I would request her to present her paper.
Am I audible, ma'am? Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everybody. So I am sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Not yet, ma'am.
Then can you please help by sharing my screen?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
My screen is not visible.
No, ma'am, from my side, it is still now not visible.
Papia, you can send your PPT in the meanwhile. In order to avoid the time, Papia, we can call the next presenter. In the meanwhile, you send your PPT.
Ma'am, I have sent my PPT.
Okay, so let us call the next presenter, and after the next presenter, you will be presenting, because we will have to prepare the PPT and everything, right?
Okay. Next, I would like to call Paromita Mojumdar. Paromita Mojumdar, ma'am, are you there? Paromita Mojumdar, are you there, ma'am?
I see Paromita here. Paramita, are you here? Because you are in the session. I see your name.
Ma'am, I'm so sorry today. I don't think I'll be able to present the paper right now, because I got an accident right now.
Okay.
I made an accident right now.
Okay, so very sorry to hear that. Anyway, Pooja, we will move to the next presenter, and then we will have Papia's presentation also.
Okay, ma'am. Then, ma'am, next I will call Devjani Ganguly to present the paper. Devjani Ganguly, ma'am, are you present?
Yes, I am present.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Can I share my screen?
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, respected teachers and all the present participants. Myself, Devjani Ganguly. Today's my topic is academic achievement of adolescents and their home environment in post-pandemic era. The COVID-19 pandemic has closed the school across the world. Over 1.2 billion school-going students are out of the classroom temporarily. During COVID-19 pandemic, our education system has entered in new paradigm.
Participants are please told to mute themselves. Otherwise, it becomes quite difficult for the presenter to speak. Okay, Devjani, you may continue.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. COVID-19 pandemic, our education system has entered in new paradigm of students learning through online education as alternative face-to-face instruction in schools. In this concern, our students have faced some consequences, especially final year school-going students. School final examination is most important for them because after that they can decide which stream they will be taken. According to some functionalists, academic achievements primarily depend on learners' intelligence and their study attitude. But in the same time, some functionalists believe that The students' academic achievement depends not only for their psychological aspects but also their social, economical, and political environment. They also think if students have equal availability of these environments, then we can consider students' merit and level of effort to identifying the cause of their academic achievement. So the significance of the study is the study of the academic achievement and home environment of the final year students, school-going students is most important in the current pandemic situation of the school education sector, as it is one of the major stakeholders in this situation where all schools are closed but examinations are going on. This study will help us to identify the various regulators of the home environment that affect the achievement of socially and economically disadvantaged students in the 10th grade examination in the post-pandemic period. So, the researchers' objective of the study is to identify the cause of the differential educational achievement, to study the level of home environment among the adolescent students of government, aided, and sponsored schools, to identify and analyze the determinants of home environments among the adolescent students of government aided and sponsored schools, and to evaluate the overall level of academic achievement in the of the adolescent students of government aided and sponsored schools. Some null hypothesis of the study. The first null hypothesis is there is no association between academic achievement and the level of the environment, home environment of adolescent students. Second, there is no significant difference among the mean score ranks of the adolescent students as regards dimension influencing home environment. And third, there is no significant difference between the median score of the male and female students of school-going students with regards to home environment. And the last fourth null hypothesis is there is no significant difference among the median scores of differential achievement in examination of adolescent school-going students with regards to home environment. So we select this methodology. The methodology is the researcher takes 90 students out of which 45 are female and 45 is male from who passed Madhyamik examination in West Bengal Board of Secondary Education in this year. That school type is only government aided and sponsored schools, and the area is northern suburban area of Kolkata metropolitan. The researcher will take non-cooperative convenience samples, and the achievement is divided into three segments: high achievement, that's 80% and above marks; medium achievement, 60 to 80% marks; and low achievement below 60% marks. And this method is conducted by online survey by Google Form, and the tool is taken from Akhtar and Saxena's home environment STEM. Now comes to result and discussion. At first, we have to know what is differential educational achievement. Differential educational achievement is a new concept in educational psychology area, which means that everyone's educational achievement differs for many psychological and sociological reasons. Every child do not have equal achievement in the examination, whereas all kind of facilities are almost same to them. Reason is they have defined level of merit and effort. But problem is everyone cannot get equal facility and opportunities to show their merit and effort. So there are mainly two causes of differential educational achievement. First is psychological causes and second is social causes. Psychological causes such as intelligence, level of effort, learning attitude. And social causes such as social status, economic status, gender, ethnicity, culture, home environment. The researcher take home environment because in this pandemic situation, all students are confined in home, so home environment plays an important role for their academic activity. So there are dimensions of the home environment. In the tool, there are 3 dimensions are there. The first, protectiveness, parental involvement, academic stimulation, reward, parental warmth, punishment, participation in home affairs, control, permissiveness, and parental expectation. When we discuss about in the mean rank, we can saw that the rewards are taken first position and the punishment is taken last position. And if we consider the variance rank, then first position is parental warmth and last is control. Next, we test the hypothesis. The researcher used 4 individual tests for the 4 individual hypotheses. In the first hypothesis, the researcher took chi-square test where the p-value is 0.02 and it was rejected at 5% level of significance. The next hypothesis tested by Tideman test, the p-value is 0.007. It also rejected at 1% level of significance. Next, third hypothesis tested by man-Whitney blue test. Result is p-value 0.21. This hypothesis only accepted at 1% level of difficulty. Last, distributional value test, which is also rejected at 5% level of difficulty. Now comes to conclusion. Now comes to conclusion that all the dimensions of the home environment considered as most important and effective factors for influencing home environment. The student reveals that there is no single student sponsoring home environment. Factors such as reward, participation in home affairs, parental expectations influence better the home environment of students. But parental warmth, punishment, parental involvement have a higher variance that gives high variability to home environment. There is a positive relationship found between home environment and academic achievement. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next presenter, I would like to call Papia Dr. Rai.
Yes,
Ma'am, are you
ma'am.
ready now, ma'am?
Yes, I'm ready, but I don't know why I cannot present my screen.
I think, ma'am, you are having some network issue. That's why.
No.
Anyway, Papia, you may present and I will be
Yes,
doing the presentation on your behalf.
is it visible now?
Okay, I am sharing the screen, Papia.
Okay.
I hope it is visible now.
Yes, it is readable, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So my today's paper is academic stress among high secondary level students in post-pandemic era, viewpoints on the basis of reinstatement of mental stress and possible way out. Next. So next, ma'am, next slide. We all know that education is the very backbone of our society. So every child has, from childhood to adulthood, education is of immense importance because education is the backbone of our society. So after home, school is the first agency which provides opportunity for us to learn, to increase our ability, to gain potentiality. But now we see in this present age, we see that the education system creates too much stress upon the individual. There is too much competition in the in the present job market also. We see that there is too much competition and their professional education has played a very crucial role, especially in the private companies, in the private sector. Professional education and personality attributes play a very important role. So students are pressurized by their parents, by the full society. They have to get good grades in the examination. They have to get more distinction. They are pressurized constantly by their teachers and the parents. And so this creates a stress in the students, especially the adolescent students, because we all know that adolescent, next slide, adolescent is a period of stress and storm. So this, as a result of stress, they feel we see that there is a sudden drop in the grades. They face a general fatigue, there is insomnia, they face mood swings, temper tantrums, aggression. But we all have to see that they cope with this stress. And this present pandemic era, since my other participants have also said that they are facing constant stress, they have to attend online classes. There is no face-to-face interaction with neither with their friends nor with the teacher. So stress has been playing a major role, especially in the academic circle. Ma'am, next slide. Next slide, ma'am. They have to attend the coaching classes so that they can enter various professional courses in various institutions. So they experience both physical stress as well as mental stress. Ma'am, next slide. They hardly get any time for their recreation. Ma'am, next slide. So the American Youth Policy Forum 2008, they say that most of the students, most of the youths drop out in the 9th grade where the adolescent is at its peak. Why? Because they cannot adjust well to high school and they also have low test scores. So, ma'am, the next slide. So the major challenges that the students are facing are school environment, their personal anxieties, poor retention recall, they don't get appreciation from their parents, fear of teachers, exam phobia, then conflicting expectations from parents as well as the society. They always are in a constant fear that whether they will fail or they will succeed. And then parental attitude, parents are constantly wanting their children to get better grades than their classmates. So they have become so preoccupied by their grades that their health also is starting to deteriorate. Next slide. So now I'm stating the reasons for students being prone to mental health problem in the present days. A few things are very common among students, which are anxiety, their food habit disorder, insomnia, addiction, depression. They also exhibit mood swing, anxiety, sleeping disorder, and also at times students feel of committing suicide. They fall victims to the troubles of mental health issues like social anxiety disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, and the like. They also face troubles like feeling of stress, shortness of breath, then irregular heartbeat, and it also adversely affect their cardiovascular system. Ma'am, next slide. So now we as teachers, it is our primary duty to see that they come out of this stress. So what the central government has already made many initiatives like SWAM, SWAM Prava, MOC, MOOS, ePathshala, and the like. So there are remedies to reinstate the present situation. Number one, understanding the crisis. Here, students have to realize, and we should make them realize that why is this lockdown? This lockdown is meant to prevent this rapid growth of COVID-19 virus. And when we will gradually pass this phase, we will overcome this phase, and teachers, parents, educators, we all should contribute to understand the importance of this lockdown. So once the school or college reopens, okay, then the psychological imbalances might be restored to some extent. Then another way is creating healthy lifestyle. Here, I have to mention that addition of yoga in the curriculum is the need of the hour, because yoga helps in restoring the mental health and hygiene. There must be a balance in the lifestyle and schedule in our daily lives. Another possible way is managing social isolation, where they can spend their time not only by studying the whole day, but by listening to music, reading story, painting, gardening, and they can also enhance their hobbies, which will help them to increase their potential in the other spheres also. Adapting the new normal. What is this new normal? That is this pandemic situation, we can boost our mental health. Why? To minimize the impact of this virus and social distancing in our life. Then having jovial family. It is the duty of each and every family member to come forward in having a healthy and jovial attitude towards the learners. Reasonable use of electronic gadgets and internet. Now we see that students do not play, the children do not play like we used to play in our childhood days. They have their own recreation only by using mobile phones. So this overuse of smartphones, laptops, and other gadgets, they can also cause serious health issues among the students. Another is restoring emotional turbulences.
Participants are requested to mute themselves.
Self-control,
Participants
self-regulation.
are told to mute themselves.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes,
Self-control, self-regulation, and resilience of mind may restore the emotive effects of our life. Ma'am, the next slide. Taking proper care for the retarded students. Actually, retarded students always need special care, as we all know. But during this lockdown, they also face newer challenges. So what do they need is regular prescribed medication, scientific routine, and counseling. Why? Because they are more prone to stress, fear, and anxiety. Another way is engagement in creative work. So what will this creative work do if our students are engaged in creative work? Like I see Adamas University always emphasizes on extracurricular activity, which is very good, which also helps to bring the best in the students. This creative engagement in creative work draws out the qualitative aspect of the students and also makes them busy and happy. Ma'am, next slide. Then counseling is very important. Even parental counseling is important because parents should know that their children should not only be preoccupied with their studies, but there are also other phases in life where their students have potential, they can excel. Then reshaping the curriculum. We all know that, and I haven't mentioned in this slide, that NP 2020 is already here. So we can incorporate the NP 2020, and every change must be incorporated in the syllabus so that students can mentally prepare themselves with this pandemic situation. Then the online teaching and should be interest provoking. I teach in a college which is situated in a very rural area. So they are not happy with the online teaching learning process because most of them do not even have Android mobile. So whatever they can afford, if the teaching doesn't become monotonous, if the teaching can be made very interesting, so they can cope with the situation. And even conducting novel methods of assessments may reduce the burden of the students. Another way of management is preparation for future crises. Tedros Adhanom, who is the Director General of WHO, they have advised countries for preparing for the next pandemic. So we see that we all know that the third wave is already on the rise. So it is necessary for students being prepared for any similar situations or similar environment in future. Now, I come to the conclusion that since adolescence is a very crucial period where we have already gone through this phase, we have experienced self-organization and role confusion. So good mental health and positive well-being can help the students, especially the adolescent students, to cope with the COVID-19 threat and the uncertainties. These are all my references. Thank you.
Thank you, Papia Dr. Rai ma'am, for the presentation. Now I will request Dr. Dipesh Kumar Thakur to present his paper. So please continue. Dr. Dipesh Kumar Thakur, sir, are you there? Please participant, mute yourself. Dr. Dipesh Kumar Thakur, are you there? Then I will move to the next participant. Now I would like to call Plavoni Roy to present the paper. Plavoni Roy, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am, you can start then, ma'am.
Can I share my screen, ma'am?
Yes, you can, ma'am.
Good afternoon, respected teachers, eminent professor, my guide, all delegates and colleagues. Today I am going to present a paper on attitude of higher secondary school students towards women empowerment at Howrah district. So this is conducted in a very difficult situation as due to present pandemic. Most of the teaching institution of our state is closed for a long time. But with the great cooperation of the school authorities and being inspired by my guide, Dr. Professor Parthita Biswas, head of the Department School of Education, Adamas University, I completed the work in a very short time. So now I want to discuss the introductory part. Empowerment of women would mean equipping women to be economically independent, self-reliant, have positive esteem to enable them to face any difficult situation, and they should be able to participate in development activities. Women empowerment is to empower women by promoting their participation in all area and sector to build stronger economics, improvement, their quality.
Slavoni, we cannot hear you.
Yes, ma'am, you became unmute.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, now we can hear you, but previously we were not able to hear you.
So, ma'am, can I start again?
Yes, sure. You can start from the second slide. And you can put your video off also, though you are in video off mode.
Okay. Ma'am, can I start
You
second slide?
minimize the screen like this and continue. I think it will be better. So go to the introductory slide.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So we all know the concept of empowerment flows from the power. So the empowerment woman should be able to participate in the process of decision making. And women empowerment is to power women by promoting their participation in all area and sector to build stronger economics, improve their quality of life, and bring gender equality. So education is the key factor for women empowerment. So education is the key factor of women empowerment, and also attitude of higher secondary school students towards women empowerment is burning issue. And the research study was aimed at measuring the attitude of higher secondary school students towards women empowerment and act of the teachers towards higher secondary level. The school environment education plays an important role in the progress of an individual's mind. The school is an environment in which young people learn about social relationship, about norms, and education contributes of women empowerment through developing skill and capabilities such as critical thinking, literacy, and communication skill, which lay the foundations for decent livelihoods and equitable relationship in adulthood. So, past literature review. Malhotra et al. 1997, Women's Empowerment in Kalutara district of Sri Lanka. The researchers have empirically analyzed how education and employment status of women, other life, course, and household factors affect women's empowerment. The study has relieved the years of schooling and current employment status of women have positive and significant impact of the financial decision-making power of women in the family. Next, the Amin et al. 1998 Women's Participation in NGO based program. the researchers have explored the relationship between poor women's participation in NGO-based microcredit program and their empowerment. The non-member in the program are shows a higher level of empowerment on autonomy and authority index than do and non-member of non-program area. And Vishwanathan 2001 Gender Development Index in India, the researcher has critically assessed the implication of the component of Human Development Index and Gender Development Index in India. This study has highlighted a set of alternatives indicators for gender development in India. Arin's Quinning et al. 2001 People's View About the Benefit of Education of Women. From this study, it is various that education accelerates the empowerment level of women. So, women empowerment is a continuous process, control over the physical, mental resource that includes human, intellectual, financial, self-benefit, and moral attitude. So, higher secondary school helps the girl of attain basic knowledge in all area of life. This program can develop the physical skill and fitness also. So attitude of students is an essential part of every parts of every education system, which is turn plays an important role in their empowerment status. So this is now start the methodology part. So it is a descriptive survey type method. And here, the students have rural and urban and government and non-government secondary school students, and independent variables and attitude of women empowerment dependent variables, and environment of the schools extraneous variables. So population consists of the students of higher secondary schools under the government and non-government in Howrah districts. So it is also stratified sampling technique are used for selection schools, and questionnaire is also used as its tools.
Lavani,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
would be better that if you go to the major findings and towards the conclusion, as
Yes,
we
ma'am.
are having a 10 minutes time limitation, okay, and I find here that you are having more or less 47 slides.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
that cannot be done in a 10 minutes time. So it would be better if you go to the major findings and towards the conclusion. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, please continue.
So it is my conclusion part, and this part I especially this topic I select because women empowerment is a continuous process. Attitude of student is an essential part of every parts of every education system, which is turn plays an important role in there. So from the past literature review, everyone put emphasis on education as main pillar of empowerment. And most of the studies are related to the economical development by different areas. So developing the attitude of girl students are not much highlighted. So there is a good scope to develop this area to gain much more empowered society. So it is my conclusion part, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Lavani Roy, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Audience, if you have any question related to the paper, you can write in the chat box. Next, I would like to call Orko Shorkar to present his paper.
Am I audible? I see that I'm visible.
Yes,
It's clear,
you are
right,
audible as
Pooja?
well as- yes.
Okay,
Audible
thank
as well as visible.
Okay, so good afternoon to all the honorable dignitaries, to my professors and friends who are present over here. I am Orko Shorkar, B.Ed second year student of education, Adamas University School of Education. And along with me is Bia Sinha, second year English master student from IGNOU. Together we have done a paper. So she will be presenting and I will be elaborating on the details. So Bia, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Just tell me if I'm visible or not.
Yeah, I'll let you know if the slides are visible. Yeah, I can see your screen. Okay, so you can switch to the presentation, please.
Yeah, is it okay now?
Yeah, it's coming. The presentation, yes, it's open. Okay. So yes, so our study is basically looking into the negative perspectives and the challenges which we all are more or less aware about online education mode. And it is a study which has been done in the urban area. I will explain in a bit of time why. So Bias, could you please move to the, this is all right, keep it, yeah. So, okay, so COVID-19 came upon all of us in the early parts of 2020. So since then, normal schooling, universities, colleges, everything got disrupted. It was either it was a choice between either getting the disease or stay safe. But education cannot remain stalled for a long period of time. It's such a thing. So naturally, the world has always resorted to technology for changes. This time as well, education switched to online mode. And we do agree, both of us do agree that online education has a number of positives. The government, the edutech companies, schools and colleges and other organizations have all made it clear. But what we have found from personal experiences is that ground reality is very different. And some critics have claimed that this is only a problem of rural India. So both of us decided that let's see what the actual situation is in the urban area. Then we can leave the rural for another day's story. So next slide, please. Bias, could you please shift to the next slide?
Yeah, I'm trying to scroll. Hold on, the screen froze for some reason.
Yeah, you can just close the presentation view and switch. I mean, this is what, ladies and gentlemen, our study is all about. So
that's what I'm trying to do. Is it okay now? Is it okay
yes,
now?
yes. Okay. So our study is basically, I hope everyone is able to see the slide I am seeing. So our study is basically a primary study which has been conducted based on a sample in the urban area. There are total 243 respondents, which include students, teachers, and parents. So a lot of studies we found have focused only on students, but we beg to differ. We definitely think that students and teachers are as much in this, either stuck directly or indirectly. So all three combine to form our sample of 243. Next slide, please. Yeah. So at first, we went to see the adaptation related issues, but on personal scale. So we have all heard this sometime or other within our field, be it as a teacher, trainee teacher, as a full-time teacher, as a student, that students are not as focused. Even some students say teachers are not as focused. So these are the observations which we found from our respondents. So indeed, students do show lesser motivation, interaction, energy, and attention. It's pretty simple to understand or figure out why, because there are a lot of distractions. Especially for students who are younger, as well as when we saw the results of teachers, similar kind of problem was also found, but on a lesser problem than the teachers. But again, so we can suppose that the greater age and the professionalism that teachers have compared to students might drive a factor. And interestingly, we actually in our full paper had done a cross study as well to ensure that there's no bias, students against teachers or teachers against students. But we did found that exclusively when we do for teachers and students, the results are pretty similar. So we didn't include it here. So next slide, please, Bias. Thank you. Next one, we move to the technical aspect, and this is perhaps the main elephant in the room, because we often say that students often claim that we are the modern generation, our teachers are the main problem, but that's not what our 243 respondents, majorly students, responded. So the problem related to adaptation is pretty much the same for students as well as teachers. And there are language barriers as well. A lot of people stayed either neutral or disagreed with it as well. And this is actually a problem that is endemic to India, because we have one separate language for each state, and which has further dialects. And of course, we all know that extensive use of technology causes a lot of problems. We're not going to elaborate and waste any time on that. almost 78% of our respondents have duly agreed with it. Next slide, please. Yeah. So affordability issues. This is another major problem because India is still a third world country. Whether we like to agree with it or not, that's a separate issue. So, and we are not a country that is primary. I mean, all poor countries show this like common traits that they are not technologically or technically advanced. So a lot of people stayed neutral or did agree that, or rather agree to somewhat that the required technology was available. But perhaps the bigger point of concern are the next two rows: sufficient internet quality and sufficient electric ability. I mean, India ranks in the top 10 based on a 2019 study. India ranks among top 10 when it comes to internet affordability. But when it changes to speed, India drops down to behind 60 or so countries. So the quality is not there, even if internet is available. Same problem goes for electricity as well. We say our country has achieved 100% electrification, but I think every one of us here present undergo load shedding or related problems, or at least the bigger majority of us undergo the same problems day-to-day basis, and the two combine to cause this huge number of disruptions. Close to like 88% have nearly agreed, 89% have nearly agreed that they face disruption. And this is very problematic because education is a continuous process. We cannot have disruptions. That definitely reduces the quality, and the problem increases because a lot of people had to invest on a new technology as well. So you combine the financial problems with further investment, and electricity or technology is not cheap. So it further adds to the problem. Next slide, please. So this is basically to counter a lot of claims which are made in the common realms that, you know, everything is nice about online education. Exams, this is one big problem. A lot of people say that people can copy and get more marks. The exams, people again say that exams should not have the same structure, should not have the same scoring patterns. And although edutech companies claim that more student friendly, like online education is very student friendly, but our respondents definitely disagree. So, and overall satisfaction, or if our respondents felt that after COVID, online will be the main thing, that is not the case. And so if we move on to the next and last slide, please, Bias. Yeah, so based on what we have found, India is not in a position really to go full-scale digital mode tomorrow. We all know in the new education policy of 2020 draft, the government has focused on it, but the ground reality is much different, like I said in the very beginning. And this is just concerning with the urban areas. The results would have been far darker if this would have been rural area. Of course, we do agree that our study has certain limitations related to scope and time, and we hope to do an even more exhaustive study, which would include both areas as sample, so that we can, you know, do a cross sectional comparison as well. Like how far, because we should never, as a researchers or as researchers, we should never believe in like, you know, this is good or this is bad. We should rather focus on how good or how bad it is. So that will be all. I mean, thank you slide is just left. So that's basically it. Hopefully, I mean, you know, when we see the governments and stakeholders speak mightily about it, the reality is very different, and we believe we are absolutely not in a position anytime soon to switch. This is just a contingency. Let us not, you know, get diverted from that fact. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Orko Sharkar and Bias Sinha. Thank you for such a nice presentation. Next, I would like to call Luftar Ali. Sir, are you present?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. I'm present. I'm trying to share my screen. Should I do that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Excuse me, ma'am. Is it audible to everybody?
Yes, sir, it's audible.
Yes, it is
Okay.
audible.
Oh,
And
thank
at
you.
the
Is
same
the screen
time,
visible?
please correct your spelling of abstract. T is
Yes, yes.
missing. I think that you did it in a hurry. Definitely, it's not
Oh,
a conscious
thank you.
mistake.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway, you can
Okay,
continue.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. Okay. So here I'd like to thanks to everybody to provide us this platform. And basically we are passing our life in a very much awkward situation. All of us, we know that. And when we are going outside, we are taking precaution, taking a bottle of what's the sanitizer, or that some other precaution, mask putting, this or that. Education field also it's coming to be very much alarming situation day by day. It has been observed that there is no other alternate way. We have to shift to the online class mode after this post-pandemic situation. So I'm going to present my present study on behalf of that to support or to deny that online class mode. For from the point of view, I'm like to going to thanks to everybody to give me a chance once again. Here at the beginning, I have highlighted that my topic is that education in post-pandemic era. So yeah, the topic is I have chosen the subject matter, an exploratory study, that is preliminary study, investigating the attitude of parents of secondary school children towards online classes, like that. That means I have studied on the parents mainly, and I have chosen here, I have highlighted the parents of mainly not 24 Parganas schools and English medium schools I have studied mainly. Since it is found that I am very much accustomed with that, and it is very much convenient for me to go to that. So I have chosen like that way. And I have chosen mainly that I have taken that online mode of interview, phone calls, and I have collected the data. Data collection procedure also not so much satisfactorily, but still I have tried my best to do. And I have chosen that 5-point scale as satisfied or very much satisfied, unsatisfied, not satisfied at all. Like that, I'm going to detail slowly, like that. And so far, the introductory part concerned, it has been observed that, but I failed to share my screen did not that horizontal. I didn't have sorry for that. Anyway, so here I have highlighted that educational institutes like school, college, university, almost all we are supporting, and we are just going to carry out the classes to online mode since there is no other application, there is no other alternative. Anyhow, to tell the truth that online mode classes started from 1873, at first started from Massachusetts from the very beginning. And India government, the CBSE board, they have started also this online mode of education long before. And even it has been observed that IGNU also started, here I have given highlights, yes, CBSE board 1979. And IGNU also you have seen that following online mode of class through radio, to television, to this online mode, distance mode, like that way, mainly online platform, using online platform. So out of that, it has been observed that when the students are going to cross secondary level, graduation level, master degree level, or like us, then we can cope up with that online mode of studies. But so far, the secondary level students concerned, what are they feeling and what are the parents are feeling? I have studied mainly on that. So my present research paper is telling that what is the attitude of the online class, attitude of the parents towards this online mode of class, especially for secondary school children. Those are going to secondary level, like that. So far, the literacy review concerned, I have given here in shortcut manner, not so elaborately. Here, most of the researchers, they have expressed their view that mainly face-to-face opinion they have highlighted, and it has been observed that 89.4% of schools in some studies, they are going to face online mode of education. And again, here the Garcia panel, they have expressed that, yes, again, face-to-face mode of education is better than others. And in a study also, in that American institute, some students, they have found that, let us go back to the face-to-face mode, Kelly 2020, 75% of people, they have voted like that. So anyhow, they're supporting online mode of, sorry, offline mode or face-to-face mode of education. But we have other studies also. Many other studies, it has been observed that many favorite points are there for that offline classes, sorry, online classes also too. But out of that, it has been observed that nowadays we are going to face a lot of problems. We have to focus, we have to accept that online mode of classes. My study is going to tell how to find out the level of attitude towards online classes, to find out whether there is any chance factor lies in parents' attitude towards online classes. That means parents just they're telling that let it be like this, or they're thinking and they're giving their actual opinion based on this their thought process that yes, we will welcome online process or we'll go to face-to-face mode of study. These two my main motto of observation. Then let me see how can I highlight it. Next. Okay. Sorry. Yes. Yes. Now I have taken the hypothesis that there exists no real difference between the observed frequency and the expected frequency. That means the people, those who have given their vote, the parents, those who have supported the online mode, and those who have supported that online mode, not at all online mode like that, they have studied like that way. And the hypothesis I have taken, there exists no real significant difference in classification from one expected one, their attitude, and the real attitude like that. After that. Okay. And so for the methodology concern, I have used the survey method according to that Garrett and Woodward. Whatever procedure they have adopted, I have adopted that survey method. And my next slide is going to tell that. So the population and sample, I have taken that 500 parents of North 24 Pargana district, mainly those students going to English medium school. Up to them like that, a convenient sample processing. And the next slide, that tools used for the study, that mobile app, like I have not mentioned the proper Google form or this one, that one. So many ways I have taken the data, in fact, verbally also, through that poll system also, as there is no way to continue convenient, and there is no other way to take that data. So I have used mainly this method, mainly online mode. And tools I have here highlighted already. And the standardization process, yes, this is a very vital part, is that. So here I have taken some parents, I found that they cannot comment anything. So I have given that cannot comment. And some of them, they have told that this condition. Some of them are very much unsatisfied. They have taken C as that group, C group. And that fourth one I have used that unsatisfied. And fifth one is that very much unsatisfied, that is E. I have given the grade like this way. That points like that way. These 5 points I have used here also. And this one, it has been observed that so it is 5 point scale coming, and I'm going to switch over since from here to that if I go to NPC curve, normal probability curve, here I have observed that let us see it is how can it be normally distributed. So total scale 6 I have divided into 5 part, it is coming 1.2. So total is minus 3 sigma 2 plus 3 sigma, I have split it up. After that it is coming, yes, like that. So the 500 parents, I found out that. So cannot comment, percentage coming 3.5%, satisfied 23.3%, very much unsatisfied 45%, unsatisfied 23.5%, 23.8, and very much satisfied 3.5. And the observed frequency, the out of 500 parents, it is found to be that 40, 30, 300, 115, and 15, like that. That means it has been observed that the very much unsatisfied group is coming more or less more than 400, 300 plus 115, 415, like that. And after that, what have I done from here? Yes. The area under normal curve, it is going to state me that I should expect this percentage that as well. Here A, B, C, D, E category I have expressed, and here the number of cases or frequency out of 500 expected frequencies coming like that way. 3.5%, it is found to be 18 like that way. This should be the expected one. After that, I'm going to show the next slide, please. Yes, this one. It is coming that the categories are written here and the observed frequencies are there, expected frequencies are there. Observed, I have calculated, I have found out by the polling system. Expected, its normal priority curve is telling me that the trend should go like this way. And as usual, difference between FO and FE found to be like this way. And the square I have made, so I'm going to chi-square to conclude my or to accept or reject my null hypothesis like that. So FO minus FE whole square by FE found to be like that way. And chi-square is value found to be more than 120. After that, yes, analysis part is telling that the chi-square value is when in 5% or 0.05 level and 1%, both are found to be that very much less than 120. Value I have reflected, but gone. Anyhow, the value is found to be 120. Both the values are found to be very much low than 120. So null hypothesis has been rejected totally. And after that, yes, the conclusion it is coming that no, parents, they have given their concern not only by mere chance factor, they have given their concern by the deep thought process. Hence, the parents provided their opinion not by chance factors, but by their actual thought process. They are supporting the offline face-to-face classroom mode of teaching. And next on that, so it is clear from the above study that out of 500, more than 400, that means 415 parents, that means almost 83% of parents do not like the online mode of classes at all. They are going to support that offline or face-to-face mode of study. And here the tables I have shown here, written like this. And after that, I have reference used up so many references. I have mainly have consolidated that statistical books, whatever available, and little part is there that online mode, just Google Scholar like this way. And thank you very much. Thank you to provide me the chance to highlight this research work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
James.
Next, I will request Komala Kanto, sir, to come and present the paper. Sir, are you there? Komala Kanto Kaur, sir, are you there? Ma'am, I am audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, ma'am. Komala Kanto Kaur, sir, are you audible? Sir, are you there, sir?
Okay, so we can move to the other part.
Okay. Once again, I would like to thank all the participants for their presentation. And thank you to all the presenters who are present over here and all the audience. Now I will call our chairperson, Dr. Prapthika Biswas, Professor and HOD, PhD Convener, School of Education, Adams University.
Thank you, Pooja.
Thank you.
And there were actually 7 papers which were presented today. And I found that all of the papers were presented, most of the papers were done even in this pandemic time in a quantitative method or in a mixed method, though some were also in the qualitative method. However, there were research scholars also, faculties also, and they have worked quite hard. And I have found out that there are some papers which have been mostly very much highlighted upon the COVID-19 and the pandemic scenario. So the first paper was written by Mr. Shayok Pal, Swati Chandak and Nitesh of School of Media Communication. So they had a very good view about the media education during the COVID-19 pandemic, an assessment study on reception on online teaching among the media students. So it was quite nicely presented. Though this was in this pandemic time, it is quite difficult to give this sort of a paper. But however, the online teaching learning process is very much relevant in Adams University and in all the schools and departments associated. The next paper was of our research scholar Srijoni Nag. She has presented education in post-pandemic era, a paradigm shift. So that was one of the papers where she tried to highlight about the paradigm shift. But however, the common point was that the online teaching learning process is somewhat becoming boring. That is the negative point. It is a very common point among all the paper presenters, but also we have learned quite a lot of things in this pandemic era related to the online mode of teaching, as well as there has been a paradigm shift that is to be said. The next one was Debjani Ganguly, another research scholar of School of Education. So she has highlighted upon the academic achievements of adolescents and their home environment in post-pandemic era. So this is one burning topic nowadays, that how the adolescents are coping up in the home environment, quite difficult also. So she had tried to do it in a mixed method, and hopingly that she will be able to do it better in the long run. Next was Papia Dottoray, our research scholar and assistant professor in education, Dhola Mahavidyalaya. So she has written about the academic stress among higher secondary level students in post-pandemic era, viewpoints on the basis of reinstatement of mental stress and possible way out. So it was more or less interrelated with the previous paper of Debjani Ganguly, and of course this academic stress, academic achievement and mental stress, these all are interrelated, and she tried to present her views which were quite good. Plavoni has done a more elaborate study on the attitude of higher secondary school students towards women empowerment at Howrah district. She tried to do it in a very elaborate way. However, time was very short, and that's why we had to cut it short. As a result of that, this was done. But however, the study was done in a good way. All of the papers which were presented were done in a proper and sincere manner. And I believe that if there are more than 30 papers who have not done justice, it is better to have 7 papers at least who have done justice to the study. So I feel quite satisfied. At the same time, our B.Ed student Orko Sarkar with Vyas Sena, a student of IGNOU, has highlighted upon the negative perspectives and challenges of online teaching learning mode in urban West Bengal, a detailed study which they have in their own viewpoint done in a better way. And I find that this type of studies should be more challenged. It is more debatable, because they have actually written about the negative perspective. Everyone is writing the positive, but they have done the other way around. So this is one of the challenges of online teaching learning. So found it quite interesting. At the same time, Luftar Ali, our research scholar, he has straight away written about the education in post-pandemic era and paradigm shift. So this is actually a general study, and of course they have newly been admitted in the PhD coursework process, and of course they are learning. And I think that in the next when we are going for the call for papers within some next few months, this study will be more proper, and the details will also be given in the long run. So congratulations to all the paper presenters. Found the papers quite interesting and quite good. So thanks to all of you, and thanks to all of the participants, especially who are there, 93 participants. Even in the context. Now, I find that Kamalakanto Kaur was somehow disconnected due to the due to some problem in his area. So he has now come. So he was the actually last presenter. So we may allow him for the paper presenter. So Kamalakanto, over to you.
Okay, ma'am.
Then I will conclude finally.
Ma'am?
Yes, you may continue, but please continue very briefly because we are running short of time. However, I know that your slides have not been so elaborate, so it will be done in quite a few minutes. But it is visible. Please, you continue.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, one to all. And today I will go to present my quality study work, teachers' new challenges and responsibility in the pandemic era, with my guide, Professor and Dr. Prathida Biswas, Professor and Head Department of Education, School of Education, Adams University. Content, introduction, objective, methodology, discussion and challenges, way out, and teachers' new responsibility. We are all about our the COVID-19 situation where everything or all mankind are affected by dangerous infectious disease. Also, all education sector try to survive, and all humankind also. But my topic today is my topic is teachers' challenges due to COVID-19. Teachers are the pivotal key of our quality education system, and it also affect and also goes beyond the whole education system over our thinking. But due to lockdown and COVID-19, teachers faces many challenges. Here we to find out the challenges and obstacles of teachers' performance due to COVID-19 situation, to find out the way to solve the teachers' problem due to COVID-19, and to analyze the duties and responsibility of teachers in the post-pandemic era. Methodology, it is a documentary and narrative literature analysis as well as qualitative study. The analysis based on secondary data and more than 50 worldwide research paper. Link others field, teachers face many challenges due to COVID-19. Here we discuss few problems. These are hardware and software related issue for e-learning. Electronic instruments are most essential things. Without a proper arrangement, teachers and students face many problems like expensive hardware and hardware, shortage of instruments, shortage of IT expert. Now this software matters the necessary to gain authorization, regular wise update or making e-learning more attractive and effective. And it is a major challenges for our teachers, especially where teachers stay in rural area. And internet connection, whole digital connection system rely on good internet connection. But lack of adequate internet connection, teachers face many difficulties to conduct online classroom. Similarly, students face many problems due to internet connection problem. In rural areas, slow internet connection are one of the major issue and common issue for online education. And technically, many teachers are comfortable with their offline conventional classroom teaching because they are not much have skill, especially technical skill, and lack of self-confidence and technical skill, they many difficulties to use ICT in education. And as a result, they are anxious, frustrated to deprive to using technical instrument to conduct online class. Attendance is one of the major challenges for online classes. Data from few studies on COVID-19 pandemic education indicate that teachers are facing student attendance associated problem. Many students are not interested to join or listen to the online class. Many students are unable to join. or the class for lacking adequate instrument like smartphone, computer, or good internet connection, or household related work. Means some students are not interested, and already ma'am discuss about practical class. Teachers face challenges about to discuss his or her practical topic, and but without proper instrument, and student and teacher can't discuss, and teaching and learning not a complete with. As a result, learning losses are growing for lacking proper strategy. Not only practical classes, many students facing difficulties in their general class also. Communication, not only teacher student communication, many parents are showing dissatisfied with teachers communication. They want parent teachers communication during long time. They seeking guidance, resource for smooth continuation for their child learning. And those children with special needs, they
কিন্তু এইচএসএন
need.
কোড বেসিসে
Hello,
তুমি নাম যাই থাকো
those children
এইচএসএন কোড ওয়াইজ
with.
রিপোর্ট এইচএসএন
Hello,
No, sir, you continue.
Special educators are facing many problems when they teach the special child. They don't have proper instrument and strategy to provide instruction by online mode. Moreover, lack of family collaboration with school and lack of family support in educationally and technically younger people cannot manage. And job security, if we collect the data from major and minor journal or site website, we can find that teachers have the fear about their job losses, and many teachers already face the problem, especially pay cuts, and they it also create depression, and it also impact their teaching activity. According to Gulati's report, approx 60,000 teachers in Maharashtra and 40,000 teachers in Karnataka have lost their jobs in this pandemic period. As a result, most of teaching staff suffered from mental health issues due to hard effort taken or less remuneration. And discipline, lack of teachers' voice clarity due to network problem and lack of attractive presentation, chaos in their house, etc., may create discipline problem in online classes, and teachers have no option to control. And additional workload during the lockdown. After the pandemic period, teachers always have additional workload except the teaching activities like administrative work, caring of their own family, etc. And this workload also impact their teaching activity. Here is Greek philosopher Thales say that a sound mind in a sound body. Many challenges and obstacles, problems may create teachers mental health related issue, and they can perform effectively and efficiently. Conducting the class in small groups after pandemic era, we can start a offline class in a small groups, but as per WHO, UNESCO, MHRD, UNICEF, and West Bengal government 2021 guideline wise, where class will conduct in small groups to maintain proper social distance, follow the safety measures, and also all teachers and staff implement and maintaining the guideline. Blended line, 3 out of 4 children facing the to access online education due to lack of devices, financial crisis, and unable to use technology. In this context, government started to open institution and specific guideline, and when situation are under control, and those students who are not interested or fear about the disease, then they can attend online mode. Means education institution can started blended learning, online and offline. Student motivation and self-management. Research found that self-management studies is always positively impact on their academic performance. So teachers should try the various strategy to encourage the student for academic motivation and self-motivation. E-inclusion. Everyone has a right to education, and our constitution also indicate this education is a fundamental right. So support offline instruction and provide educational tasks, continually communicate with family, especially special child, and adoption of technology due to lockdown. As per requirement, technology is going rapidly and it also impacts our education system. In post-pandemic period, it will be used in blended learning, so government can arrange professional development program for upgrading teachers pedagogical and technical skill. Open and free technical resources. Consequences of COVID-19: financial and social educational inequality continually increasing day by day. Mostly this picture widely shows in developing country and underdeveloping country. In this context, government leaders, educationists, and educational institutions can take can state open and free technological sources for teachers and students. And more school communication. School can depend not cannot depend on solo communication method. School and teacher cannot depend on solo communication method. School may various channel for communication like WhatsApp, email, social media platforms, phone calls, online parents conference, in etc. to communicate with student and their parents for assessing the needs student parents in related COVID-19 issue and monitoring about health status. Financial aspect. Most of the countries are suffered financially, although it can be covered in short periods. But without quality of education means skillful human resource, we never build a good society. And it also backside going to backside financially, ethically, and international. As per UNESCO guideline, government and policy leaders may give priority to education sector like others important sector at the time of financial planning. Adequate remuneration. Government and private institutions should take care of about teachers' remuneration as per pre-specified norm. Inadequate remuneration or salary cutting badly may create teachers various mental health issues, also affect their teaching activity. Modification of system level policy. Poor teaching is not a fault of a teacher, but also consequences of old conventional system level policy that do not properly recruit, prepare, support, manage, and motivate our teacher. Few countries such as Finland, Japan, and Singapore modify the system level policy as per time and boost the career of successful teacher. Reduce additional
Kamalakanta
award.
sir.
Yes,
Sir,
ma'am.
so we have some time limitation. So if you, we have some time limitation, sir.
Okay.
To
Yes,
conclude
please,
shortly,
Here-
it will be better.
please brief your presentation and
Okay.
we
Okay.
will be ending with 2 minutes time.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Here, World Bank's global platform, where five principles for teachers development make teaching more attractive and improve the pre-service education through OP or faculty development program and orientation program, refresher course, and improve selection, allocation, monitoring, and feedback, especially teachers recruitment and allocation for money, monitoring their activity, and provide high quality professional development and school leadership, use technology wise. According to Danilo, 2021, he studied only science teacher, but it may we can use all every sector. Teachers as a communicator with their colleagues, communicator with parents, communicator with students, critical thinkers to think find out the solution of any kind of problem, and knowledge creator to as a researcher, he or she may have a important role, and disruptive innovator about knowledge and new ideas, voice against misinformation, where due to not only COVID-19, social media also spread misinformation. So teachers as a social creator and pillar of our society, he also raise his or her voice against misinformation, and he ready for future challenges and as a educator. And as per MHRD and West Bengal government and also UNESCO, there is some guideline after after pandemic. Teachers should be gentle with yourself and student and their parents, because everyone have problem due to pandemic. When dividing up the children to work in a small group, first allow for socialization and activation with parents, because socialization also impact our character development and moral development. And teachers also role as a researcher and community leader, because society improve by our educators activity, and it can be more and more better way if they participate. Monitoring and tracking ensures safety norms in classroom and others place. The means student tracking the student and where in their classroom and or home. So this is not a there is not a eternal solution for those problems, because many factors are vary as per time and place, but it also helpful to eradicate the problem and create pro environment for teachers and support them more effective and efficient. Day by day, social complexity, many situation and problem arises in the pandemic situation, which make more complicated in the education system. And state management and leader, principal, policymakers should be prepared for tackling those challenges and taking strategy to encounter those. And however, like doctor, police, teacher also a COVID warrior, because without teacher, whole education can collapse, because society and system only depend on good
Okay,
quality
so
of education.
Kamalakantu, we will wrap it
Thank you.
up here, and you may stop the slide now, and over to Pooja. Pooja, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you all. Now I would hand over to Shinjini ma'am.
Thank you so much, Pooja. Now we have reached at the very end of the session. Now I would request School of Education technical team to show the certificate for our honorable chairperson as token of appreciation.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this honor and prestige, though it is totally a homebound thing. But I would definitely like to thank Team SOE and of course Dr. Shauli Mukherjee ma'am, Director School of Education and Dean Student Affairs, Adams University for the initiative, and all the team members for working so hard on this international faculty development program. Thank you. Thanks to all of you. And once again, thanks to all the paper presenters, my colleagues, all those who have been there for the all along support. And of course, to the planning monitoring team, School of Education, and to all the participants, especially who have been there. There are 90 participants even in this afternoon. So I thank all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam. This is the end of today's session of Call for Papers. Our next session of Call for Papers will start tomorrow from 11 a.m. The chairperson will be Dr. Progga Mohanty ma'am, Associate Professor, School of Education, Adamas University. From 2 p.m. onwards, the faculty development session will start and the resource persons will be Ma'am Shamin from Sri Lanka and Dan Agervig Hansen from Denmark. Looking for your active participation. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. You may leave.